Hello, and welcome to another episode of Other Items of Interest. I'm your host, Jack Zablocki. This week, we have some cute animal stories, a not so cute animal story, and a bunch of nonsense. That's what we have. Just a bunch of nonsense this week. So if you're in the mood for nonsense, this show is right up your alley. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. Hey folks, welcome to Other Items of Interest. I'm Jack Zablocki. How are you today? If you've been listening for maybe the past month, we've been having, it's not a spat, it's not turmoil. It's just an issue with a street crew doing street work outside, some construction. Last week I thought we were in the clear, apparently not. Right before I started recording this, a big truck just drove through. I think it's coming back. In any case, it doesn't matter. Just know that there might be some interruptions during the show. Probably if you listen on headphones. I've had other people tell me they can't hear it on the speaker. I put the show through noise reduction and all that other crap before releasing it. So it doesn't sound too bad, but just a warning. In case you were wondering what that weird beeping was or rumble. Street crew working, doing construction. Cable company. I don't know what they're doing at this point. They tear up the street. They put asphalt down. They tear it back up. They put asphalt down. A lot of people just standing around. But that's construction for you. So, enough of that. We'll get on with the show. Have some nice animal stories to begin with. And it just devolves from there. From happy animal stories to one not so happy animal story to I don't know what. Let's just get on with it, shall we? We shall. Can you hear that? It's like it's right outside the wall. Forget it. I'm obsessed with it at this point. It's what I wake up to every morning. Every goddamn morning. Somebody's yelling at somebody now. All right, on with the stories. From livescience.com, flushed goldfish grew to be kitten size in Niagara River. And a flushed kitten would just clog the toilet. And there's a picture with this one. It shows you the huge goldfish right up top. You can check that out in the show notes at otheritemsofinterest.com with all the other stories that we cover on the show. A monstrously huge goldfish was recently captured in the Niagara River in New York. The goldfish was presumably a discarded house pet that may have been illegally released or survived a traumatic flush down a toilet. Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper, otherwise known as BNW, a nonprofit working to protect and restore the Niagara River and Lake Erie watershed, caught and photographed the giant goldfish in the river's Black Rock Canal, sharing an image in a Facebook post on June 14th. In the photo, Marcus Roston, an employee of the nonprofit, cradles the fish in two hands. The orange leviathan measured a whopping 14 inches long, according to the post. An even more supersized goldfish was nabbed in California's Lake Tahoe in 2013. It weighed in at just over 4 pounds and measured nearly 2 feet long. Goldfish are native to Eastern Asia, this is the science part, and belong to the carp family. They usually reach about 1 to 2 inches in length when they live in aquariums or small fish tanks. At most, they grow up to be about 6 inches in captivity, according to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, DEC. But when goldfish are released into streams and rivers, they often grow to be 12 to 14 inches long. The first sightings of goldfish in New York waterways date to 1842. More than a dozen other states also noted the appearance of goldfish in rivers and streams by the end of the 19th century, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. Today, goldfish can be found in waterways across New York State, the result of illegally released pets or escapees from bait buckets, the DEC reported. The fish can survive year-round in the Lake Erie watershed, and goldfish reproduce very quickly. A handful of goldfish released into a Colorado lake in 2012 multiplied to number in the thousands just 3 years later. Invasive goldfish directly compete with native fish, and in large numbers, they upset the natural biodiversity of vulnerable freshwater environments. A BNW representative told Live Science in an email. Aquatic invasive species that don't naturally belong in the Great Lakes, like this goldfish, are a constant threat to the health of native wildlife populations and their habitats. Across all of the Great Lakes, goldfish populations are estimated to run into the tens of millions, the BNW posted on Facebook. How about that? Mutant giant goldfish coming for your daughters. I don't even know what that means. I gotta apologize. I'm in a weird mood today. I'm just sick of the construction outside. And I don't know what else. But I'm sorry to even interject that. Check out the page. It's a huge goldfish. It's comically large. From WFLA.com, News Channel 8, on your side. That's their tagline. What do you want? Overweight chicken gets her own wheelchair. Animal rescuers in Oklahoma are helping an overweight chicken who can't stand anymore by giving her a custom wheelchair. And here it's written as a customer wheelchair. I've noticed a lot of typos in these stories this week. I think people are just trying to get stories out for the July 4th holiday. The Oliver and Friends Farm Rescue and Sanctuary also took in Milo, a puppy born with upside-down paws. How the hell does that happen? After a successful surgery, his story was shared around the world. We saved a puppy and we were heroes, says Jenny Hayes, the rescue's director. We save a chicken and people think that maybe we're nuts, but that's okay. Hayes and her team are now determined to save Colorado, a Cornish hen that was rescued from a defunct factory farm. There were, I think, 13,000 chickens that needed to find a place to go, she said. With the help of Loving Arms, another Colorado animal sanctuary, the rescue took in 25 very sick chickens. Although it may be hard to believe by their appearance, Colorado and her chicken friends are only a few months old. It's all about production, so the faster they grow and the bigger they grow, that makes more money, Hayes said. Hayes said she considered euthanasia since Colorado's legs could no longer support her, but her husband got on Google, saw a chicken in a wheelchair, and started building. So, ever since she got the wheelchair, her sparkle's back, Hayes said. The rescue is now focused on keeping all the chickens at a healthy weight through exercise and diet. How do you exercise a chicken? A bunch of little treadmills? We honestly believe here at Oliver and Friends that every animal deserves a chance to live their best life as pain-free as possible. Oh, that's just hunky-dory. I do mean that. That came out really not so good. My words are just crap today. I shouldn't be recording this. Let's just continue the train wreck. Headline reads, Cow cuddling is apparently a thing now, from BusinessInsider.com. And right up at the top of the page is somebody cuddling a cow. I guess as proof that people really do it. You've heard of cat yoga, bunny yoga, goat yoga, and even goat cuddling. But what about the latest wellness fad, cow cuddling? Offered at one mountain horse farm in upstate New York, the Horse and Cow Experience gives farm animal lovers a unique opportunity that can bring relaxation, healing, awareness about your body language, comfort, mindfulness, build assertiveness, help with overcoming fear, build confidence, lets you be playful, and teaches you to set boundaries. Those are some pretty lofty words. All you do all that from cuddling a cow? I don't know. According to the website, the experience is custom tailored to whatever you'd like, and cows are genuinely good cuddle buddies because of their sensitive, intuitive nature. Cows have a body temperature that is slightly higher than humans, and their heart rate is lower than ours. Cuddling up with a cow, feeling that lower heart rate and higher body temperature is very relaxing. Now that's a quote, but I don't know who it's quoted from. It doesn't say. During the 90-minute session, which cost $300 for 2 people, you can pet the cows, brush them, play with them, and of course, cuddle with them. And sessions are facilitated by an equine specialist and a licensed counselor. So there's that. $300 to cuddle a cow for 90 minutes. You can go to a petting zoo, have your goats, your cows, whatever you want, chickens, cuddle them for like $5. Who's paying $300 to cuddle a cow? Who? I want to know. And here's where our animal stories take a turn. Quite a turn. Alabama man accused of feeding meth to a squirrel arrested. From NBCnews.com. An Alabama man, who authorities say kept a meth-fueled attack squirrel in his apartment, was arrested Thursday on multiple felony warrants unrelated to the squirrel. Narcotics investigators found Mickey Polk, 35, while they were conducting surveillance at a hotel in Killen, according to the Limestone County Sheriff's Office. Polk was arrested after he fled on a stolen motorcycle and rammed an investigator's vehicle. And there's a picture of Polk in cuffs on the ground. Polk was wanted for possession of an illegal firearm, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Investigators in Athens, Alabama, searched Polk's home last week after getting a tip the man was keeping a methamphetamine-fueled attack squirrel at the residence. Narcotics investigators arrested one man and are looking for another after they executed a search warrant Monday that yielded meth, drug paraphernalia, body armor, and a squirrel, the sheriff's office said on June 18th. Polk uploaded a video on Facebook after the raid from the apartment with the squirrel. He acknowledged that the squirrel is aggressive and had bitten people, but denied that the rodent was trained to attack. And there's a picture of the squirrel. He's a chubby little fella. He's in a cage. Doesn't look too aggressive. Doesn't look like a meth head. The public isn't in danger from the methed-out squirrel in the neighborhood, Polk said with a chuckle. He's not on meth, I'm pretty sure. Better not find out he's on meth anyway. I don't think he likes that shit. Okay. He wrote on Facebook that he had been bottle feeding the animal since it was hours old and raising it like it was my own. Well, that puts a warm, fuzzy feeling in my heart. Authorities said there was no safe way to test the squirrel for methamphetamine. You can't give the squirrel a pee test? No? Okay. The Limestone County Sheriff's Office did not immediately respond to a request for more information by NBC News on Friday. So there you have it. There's some animal stories. They run the gamut from cute and sweet to methed out squirrel. Squirrels are really kind of, I don't know, jittery, wiry. I don't know how to put it, but if you've seen a squirrel, you know they're quick movements and all that. I can't imagine a squirrel on meth. I don't know if I want to imagine a squirrel on meth. Stealing my hubcaps or something. And now on to human news from themirror.co.uk. I'm not too sure about this article. Amazon's Alexa calls Echo user a shithead after he cancels Prime subscription. That's right, Amazon's Alexa calls Echo user a shithead. An Amazon Echo Dot owner claims that the device's Alexa smart assistant has started calling him a shithead every time he asks it to play him some music. Michael Slade, 29, was reportedly shocked when Alexa began to swear at him the day after he called Amazon to cancel his Prime subscription. I tried to cancel my subscription and had a short conversation with someone in customer services, and the next day my Alexa is calling me names, Mr. Slade told The Sun. When he later asked Alexa to play him some music, the personal assistant reportedly responded, "Sure," Here's your playlist, shithead, on Amazon Music. Sorry, something went wrong. There's a picture of the guy and his Amazon device in his hand. He's pointing at it, so we know that's his. I couldn't believe it, said Mr. Slade from Cwmbran, South Wales. Cwmbran, C-W-M-B-R-A-N. It's Welsh. All Welsh words are crazy spelling. But I had to look this one up so I can pronounce it right. So there you go. There's your little bit of info for the day of how to pronounce a Welsh word. I've spoken to technical support and they've never heard of this happening before. The technical team couldn't believe it. They kept saying sorry, but they didn't know what had happened. Software is available for the Echo Dot speaker that can make Alexa swear, but Mr. Slade insists he hasn't done anything to the device. Hand on heart, I haven't made it say it or know why, nor do any of my housemates, he said. I think one of his housemates is lying. I think this is a funny little prank they pulled on him. I've never made a playlist. When I ask it to play music, it would say, here's something you might like, and it's normally some pop or student favorites. Amazon has offered Mr. Slade gift cards to the sum of £255 and a year of free Prime membership in compensation. The company has also asked him to provide access to the logs of his Alexa account to find out what went wrong. Customers are able to personalize their Alexa experience, including playlist names, Amazon said in a statement. This is turning into an Alexa commercial. Alexa would not respond in this way without some customization from the user. Ready for this? Man sues Hardee's after claiming lack of hash browns violated his civil rights. From the New York Daily News. A man in North Carolina filed a federal lawsuit against fast food chain Hardee's, claiming the restaurant violated his civil rights after giving him too few hash rounds in his breakfast platter. I assume hash rounds are tiny little potato fried bullshits. I don't know. Tommy Martin believes his skin color is the reason he was served fewer hash rounds than expected. Martin is a black man. On the Hardee's website, the breakfast platter Martin ordered is pictured with about 12 hash rounds on the side. Martin said he left the restaurant teary-eyed and reported the incident to police in Belmont, North Carolina. He was this upset over his hash rounds? Teary-eyed? Come on. According to the lawsuit, a cashier tried to correct the issue, but a manager intervened and said, and this is quoted from the article, I'm going to read it as is, "That what you get." Not proper English exactly, but whatever. The lawsuit adds that Martin no longer feels comfortable eating in public after the May 2018 incident. I don't mean to laugh at the guy, but this is ridiculous. Martin said that he received a refund, but would like a jury to decide the case, because that's a good allocation of court time, I think. Deciding on whether he got enough hash rounds or not. Go to a different Hardee's. Go to BK. Don't they have the same kind of bullshit little potato things? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Crazy world we're living in. Can't get enough hash rounds because of your skin color. It's a goddamn shame. This is kind of an interesting one from KSL.com. Woman falsely reported that her husband killed her, police say. A woman who allegedly thought her husband was cheating on her was arrested Tuesday after falsely reporting that her husband had killed her, police say. Rebecca Spring Nielsen, 44, of Bluffdale, was arrested for investigation of criminal mischief and making a false police report involving death. The unusual incident started about 2 a.m. Tuesday, I don't know when a woman called 911 after receiving text messages from a person purporting to be Nielsen's husband, stating that he had shot his wife and didn't know what to do, according to a Salt Lake County jail report. The woman asked the man if he was serious, and he responded by text that he wasn't joking, the report states. Police officers from Saratoga Springs, Bluffdale, Harriman, and the Unified Police Department responded to the husband's Bluffdale home, surrounded it, and ordered the residents to come out. That's when Nielsen walked up to officers on the scene. Investigators trying to unravel what was going on learned that Nielsen and her husband had gotten into an argument several hours earlier because the husband was texting another woman. Nielsen allegedly smashed her husband's laptop, took her husband's phone, and left. After leaving, Nielsen began sending texts to the woman using her husband's phone and while claiming to be her husband. That's when she allegedly told the woman, while acting as her husband, that Nielsen had been shot. Rebecca claimed she wanted to see how the woman would respond, and Rebecca wanted to see if the woman would be covering up the crime, according to the report. Police say Nielsen and her husband had been married for about 10 months. A whopping 10 months, and this is the spats they get into. My goodness. Hey, it's a story about Walmart. This should be all normal and pleasant. From Times Record News, woman banned from Walmart for eating half of a cake, refusing to pay for other half. Wichita Falls police banned a woman from Walmart after she reportedly ate half of a cake and refused to pay for the other half. Well, if she wasn't going to eat it, why bother? Wichita Falls Police Department spokesperson Officer Jeff Hughes stated officers responded to a theft call June 25th, shortly after 8 p.m. at the Walmart located on Greenbrier Road. None of you know where this is. I don't know where this is. Where they received a report of a woman who had entered the store, ate half of a cake, and refused to pay for the other half. Hughes said the woman was banned from the store by police for the theft. This is not the first time a Wichita Falls Walmart banned a customer from its stores. In January 2019, Wichita Falls police received a call involving a woman drinking wine in a Walmart parking lot. Employees requested officers to ban a woman from another Wichita Falls Walmart store after she reportedly had been drinking wine from a Pringles can for several hours while riding on an electric cart. That's pretty hardcore. When officers arrived, they found the woman in a nearby restaurant, at which point she was notified that she had been banned from the Walmart location. Walmart is the place to be. If you want entertainment, go into a Walmart. Stroll around for, 30 minutes, because you're bound to see something nutty. Someone nutty. I would kill to see somebody drinking wine out of a Pringles can on an electric scooter, just driving around a parking lot. That's a good Friday night, right? No? Have I gone crazy? Probably. And some more police news. Break-in, suspect shatters sheriff's office window, brings donuts as peace offering. From Como News, Komo News. A 26-year-old male broke into the Fairwood storefront King County Sheriff's Office just after midnight June 16th by shattering the front window. The suspect didn't steal anything. He instead went to a room in the back where deputies usually do paperwork. He was found with his feet up on a chair watching TV and had just finished a cigar. The balls on this guy. The deputy that found him asked him if he was the one that broke the window. Yep, the suspect casually replied. According to the King County Sheriff's Office, the suspect said he would rather go to jail for breaking into the building than kill his roommate. Okay, maybe he's thinking somewhat competently. He didn't kill anybody. The suspect feared the deputies would be angry at him for breaking in, so he brought fresh donuts with him as a peace offering. As he wished, the suspect was booked into King County Jail. No word on the fate of the donuts, King County Sheriff's Office said in a Facebook post. And there's some pictures. He really shattered the shit out of that window. And there are the donuts. They're not that great. They look like they're from a supermarket or something. You got to bring good donuts, you know. You can't just bring any old donuts to cops. Maybe they're not particular what kind of donuts they get. I don't know. I'm rambling now. I think there's something really wrong with me today. Fuck it. And here we have another couples spat from standard.co.uk, Evening Standard. Woman arrested and charged with controlling behavior for telling bodybuilder husband to tidy house. Right up top, there's a picture of the bodybuilder husband. He's about 58, according to the article. Dude is ripped. He's got like an old man head and this just ripped body. Good for him. A woman is told how she was arrested and charged with controlling behavior after asking her husband to help out around the house more. Valerie Sanders, 58, from Catterick, North Yorkshire, said she was treated like a criminal for asking bodybuilder Michael, also 58, to spend a bit less time at the gym and a bit more time hoovering. Mrs. Sanders, a cleaning firm boss. See, that's what I don't get. If she's a cleaning firm boss, can't she have her own people clean the house a little bit? I'm not saying what happened to her is right or anything, but it just seems odd. Anyway, that's stupid aside from me. Mrs. Sanders, a cleaning firm boss, said she had left notes for him to do chores around the home they shared, but was stunned when police were called in. 2 vans and 4 officers reportedly turned up at the house to arrest her, taking her to a police station where she is said to have spent 17 hours in a cell. It's a little bit much. The following day, Mrs. Sanders was charged with coercive or controlling behavior, a law usually used to protect vulnerable women. Well, not this time. Her case was thrown out this week before it went to trial, after what the shocked wife described as 14 months of hell. It's outrageous it ever got to court, Mrs. Sanders told The Sun, insisting, I'd leave a note asking him to vacuum parts of the house and clean the patio doors. We have 2 miniature dachshunds, but he would spend 4 hours cleaning his car. So of course I complained. What kind of car do you have that takes 4 hours to clean? Surely it isn't controlling behavior, otherwise every married couple would be in court. But her husband, who she first met online, hit back, I'm not sure if she should have gone to court or not. That was not my decision, but she was controlling. She was constantly on at me. You couldn't vacuum once or twice, dude. Come on. The case was listed for trial at Teesside Crown Court on Tuesday, but was dismissed before a jury was sworn in. Mrs. Sanders' not guilty plea was accepted and returned for a 2-year restraining order. Okay. The CPS announced the decision to drop the case, saying, we prosecute cases where there is sufficient evidence of coercive and controlling behavior. In this case, after a key witness decided to no longer support the prosecution, we concluded there was no longer sufficient evidence. And surprise, surprise, the couple are now divorcing. Mrs. Sanders said, 17 hours in a prison cell broke my love for him. It's such a relief it is all over. That's kind of sad, actually. I mean, the guy's a dick. I wouldn't say that to his face because he'd kick my ass. He's huge. This one comes from CTV News Vancouver. McLaren driver only had a car for 10 minutes before ticket and impound. That's rough. They're expensive cars. A Coquitlam man didn't get long to enjoy his new car, say West Vancouver police. According to West Vancouver police, a 2019 McLaren 600 LT supercar, which has a base price of, ready? $256,000, was recorded traveling 161 kilometers in a 90-kilometer zone while heading westbound on Highway 1 on June 17th. Officers were able to safely pull the car over when the driver revealed just how new the car was. While the officer was conducting the investigation, the driver allegedly stated that they had just left the dealership after purchasing the vehicle 10 minutes prior. West Vancouver police said in a news release. The car was towed from the scene and impounded for 7 days for excessive speeding, and the 39-year-old driver was handed a $368 ticket. Now, if you can afford a car that's $250,000 or whatever it was, I think he can afford a $368 ticket. I don't think that's going to be a big deal for him. While we get closer to the July long weekend, which typically means more vehicles on the road, West Vancouver police want to remind everyone to obey all speed limits and drive responsibly. And that goes for everybody out there listening. Drive responsibly. And there's a picture of the car. Looks like a super duper sports car. I'm not much into cars, so I don't really care. Seems like a waste of money. That's just my 2 cents. Don't listen to me, though. Here's some weird weather news. Weather's getting freaky. I think June was the hottest month on Earth in recorded history. So I think things are just going to get freakier. And this story is freaky. From WATE.com. This is AB6 on your side. Why do so many news channels, television channels, put that as their logo, on your side? Not on anybody's side. They want ratings. They want money. Anyway, that's completely beside the point of this article. Mexican city covered in more than 3 feet of ice after freakish summer hailstorm. And right at the top of the page is a video of a very large freight truck plowing through the hail. I guess it is. It's just ice. It's crazy looking. Guadalajara had been enjoying a sweaty summer for the past few weeks until the weekend brought a shocking surprise. The Mexican city woke up Sunday morning to more than 3 feet of ice in some areas after a heavy hailstorm swept through the region. As government officials scrambled to contain the damage and clear up roads, residents captured jaw-dropping footage of vehicles and residences swallowed by ice. Enrique Alfaro Ramirez, the governor of Jalisco, of which Guadalajara is the capital, said he'd never witnessed scenes like those he saw Sunday morning. Hail more than a meter high, and then we wonder if climate change exists, he said on Twitter. He's right. The government of Jalisco has been working with the Mexican Army and Guadalajara, and I don't know how to say this, Tlaquepaque, I think I said that right, authorities to clean and remove hail from all public roads, the governor said, as well as support citizens whose homes were affected. Ramirez said Sunday afternoon there had not been any reported injuries or fatalities. So how did this happen? Now we're going to get a science lesson. Low pressure extending south from the U.S. and Mexico border had been forecast to contribute to developing storms along the boundary separating different air masses, CNN meteorologist Michael Guy said. Once these storms developed, all the ingredients came together for there to be this strange hailstorm over Guadalajara. The last storm along the front died out and created an outflow boundary, and the city's mountainous location helped a new storm rapidly develop. The city is nearly 5,000 feet above sea level and usually maintains a temperate climate. The summer months are often rainy and severe weather isn't unheard of because of the city's elevation. However, this was a case where atmospheric and topographic ingredients came into play to cause a freakish hailstorm. And there you go. Definitely check out the show notes. There's just for that video, and I guess that's it. There's just that one video. I saw some other videos from some other articles, some other pictures as well. Really crazy stuff. From foxnews.com. I really don't like using Fox News as a source, but it's a decent article. Worst part is the comments at the end of the article. No matter what the article is about, it's just shit comments from angry, upset, pissy people who have nothing good to say. It's just awful. And you might want to check out the show notes on this one because there are cringe-inducing pictures. But we'll get to that. Headline reads, "Man needs chopstick surgically removed from hand after attempting beer bottle trick, doc says." I don't know if you know the trick, but it's a way of opening a beer bottle that isn't safe at all. A seemingly innocuous tableside trick is sending people in China to the hospital, prompting one doctor to share gruesome patient photos in an effort to warn against attempting to open a beer bottle with a chopstick. Dr. Jian Zhenfei, a hand and food surgeon, that's what's written, I swear to God. Not a hand and foot surgeon, a hand and food surgeon. That's ridiculous. That's Bush League. Dr. Jian Zhenfei, a hand and foot surgeon at the Zhaoshan Hospital of Traditional Chinese Medicine, said he worked for 30 minutes to free the chopstick from his patient's hand. The chopstick was about 2 centimeters, about an inch deep in his palm, and was bulging on the back of his hand. That's the picture you get to see. He said it hurt a lot and wanted me to pull it out. I asked how it happened, and he said he tried to show off by opening his third beer with a chopstick, Zhenfei said. And the picture is, it's just the guy's hand and a chopstick trying to protrude from the top of his hand. And it looks really disturbing. Go check it out. According to several local outlets and state news agency China News Service, while the trick is several years old, Zhenfei said he has seen an increase in the number of patients requiring medical attention for chopstick-related injuries as a result of the trick, including 5 in just the last 2 weeks. Yeah, people should probably stop doing this. And there's another picture of it. I can't stand to look at it because it just looks like it wants to come right through the top layer of skin on the hand. The way the trick works, hey, let's teach people how to do this so they can try on their own. The way the trick works is by wedging one side of the chopstick under the cap of the beer bottle and quickly hitting the other end with an open palm. At least one patient allegedly hit the chopstick too hard, resulting in severe injury and nerve damage. I was supposed to cut his palm open to check for nerve damage, but he refused and left the following morning, Zhenfei reportedly said. So it's hard to say whether he will suffer any long-term effects from the injury. And that's the end of the article. God, I just looked at the comments. I looked at the comments when I was getting my articles together. People are despicable. They're not funny. They think they're being funny. But they're just shitty people. I'm sorry to say that, Fox News listeners, watchers, whoever you are. From dailymail.co.uk. By the way, this is a not safe for work story. So hide your kids, hide your pets, and put some headphones on. There's lots of pictures for this one too. Sex fetish fans from around the world board the annual torture ship cruise in Germany, where 500 guests don leather and latex for nautical naughtiness. And I'll try to explain some of the pictures as we go along. You should really take a look for yourself at otheritemsofinterest.com. Hundreds of fetishists sporting skin-tight latex dresses and leather corsets have piled on an erotic cruise ship for kinky annual festival in Germany. Around 500 revelers in full bondage, gimp masks, horse heads, and fishnet vests boarded the torture ship at Friedrichshafen Harbor on Sunday. Large crowds gathered to watch as they set sail on Lake Constance for the world's largest BDSM boat party. First picture we see is how do I explain this? They're both in leather masks that are painted to look like regular faces. One is a nun, and the other is just looks like a woman. All right, fine. It's cool. Under the picture it says, Catherine Von Cali left, and Latex Angela didn't let the blistering heat stop them from donning skin-tight latex costumes on the torture ship on Sunday. That's right, it's even summertime in Germany. That shit's got to be hot. And then there's another picture of two ladies affectionately kissing, wearing corsets, lots of tattoos. And there's another picture of a fellow wearing a leather horse mask, realistic horse mask. He's got hooves on his hands. He's got a tail, knee-high boots, no pants. Got to keep cool somehow. And then another picture of a woman wearing a corset and some underwear. There's a picture of the boat itself with all the revelers on board. Then we have a guy in a leather top hat and another guy in a leather mask with a built-in mohawk. And then there's a video which I didn't watch. Feel free to visit the site and check it out for yourself. Let's get back to the article. Organizers said the turnout was down slightly this year due to sweltering temperatures. But that didn't stop Catherine Von Cali and her escort, Latex Angela, from traveling all the way from Moscow. Interesting. The two men in the latex nun... Oh, they were men in those costumes. In the latex nun costumes did not want to reveal their real names, but said they made the 1,500-mile trip because their hobby is more accepted in Germany. What, Russia doesn't accept those type of things? Shocking. Thomas Siegmund, who runs the party, told Bild, German newspaper, there's a bit less turnout than usual because of the heat, but it's even more than 30 degrees in paint, leather, and latex. Here we have another picture. This one's a bit, there's a guy wearing, he doesn't have a shirt on, and he's got leather pants on and big boots. On his head, he's wearing a big bulbous yellow mask with two very round eye holes and a round mouth hole. And there's a woman in platform heels stepping on his head, and it's squishing down. There's a lot of padding inside the yellow mask, I believe, because that's the next picture, is a close-up of the man in the yellow round ball mask. He's showing off his tongue, which is bifurcated, which means, if you don't know, it's been split down the middle. I don't like looking at it, but I can't look away. Next picture, we have an old lady with, she's wearing kind of headgear you put on a horse with blinders on the sides, and she has a bit to put in her mouth. Next picture, we have somebody has latex Deadpool. There's always somebody dressed as Deadpool. And another picture of two people embracing. And a final picture of the boat sailing off. Explaining why the party was so popular, Sigmund said, in a normal nightclub, people are all astonished and some may fidget when they come in latex outfit. On the ship, the guests felt comfortable. Paramedics are on standby on the ship in case of emergencies. In 2015, the party was forced to get rid of its dark room and bedrooms to comply with tightening safety regulations. The torture ship has been running for more than 2 decades. Congratulations. Check it out. There's a bunch of cool pictures and a video. I hope you enjoy it. I really don't know what to say after that. It's a little strange, a little erotic, but all in good fun. So, cue the music. And that's the end. That's the end of our show for this week. This has been Other Items of Interest. I've been Jack Zablocki, your host. Tune in next week when we do more of the same. Visit us online at otheritemsofinterest.com. Email us at otheritemsofinterestpod@gmail.com. I'll write back, I promise. We'll see you next week, folks. Take care.